Still out there.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ross Patterson Revolution! Brought to you by GhostBed.com. Ooh, James.
Ooh, buddy.
Man.
Oh,
It's getting crazy out there, isn't it?
it's getting crazy.
It's getting real crazy.
It's getting scary.
I'm just glad Hollywood solved racism.
Yeah. Well, they're in the beginning of it. They are going to keep solving. Do you know what I mean? You better
Boy.
watch out if you need to be solved.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? You're not gonna have a show anymore. Bad boys.
Bad boys. Bad Boys
Should've
is
been.
fine, yeah.
Should have been. Bad Boys is fine. Cops is not fine. That TV show, after 30 years of being on the air, is it's now gone. They
Yep.
canceled it.
First
Canceled-
episode in 89.
Is it really?
Yeah, one of the longest running TV shows
Of all time, right?
of all time, yeah.
Man,
Yeah,
it's weird because I've watched Cops numerous times.
definitely.
Definitely high in college, a lot of Cops.
Yeah.
It seemed like it was blacks and whites equal in that show, where my favorite one was like the trailer park ones where the white guys methed out of their heads.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, I don't have no drugs on me, man. I just, I swear, I'm on the straight and narrow and
Like,
trying to get my kids back with Carol, and
Yeah.
I'm all good. What's this in your pocket, sir? Oh man, that was my last time, man.
Yeah.
That was my last time.
yeah, yeah.
Can't do that no more. Just now it's all gone.
I mean, yeah, I haven't watched Cops in a while, but it was comforting to know that it was there. You know what I mean? Like,
I agree.
Like
Same with
bed
Springer.
wine. Yeah.
Same with Springer to me.
Yeah, like I'm not going to watch it, but it makes me feel like everything's in order if it's still happening, right?
Yeah, like I want to know that it's on at 3 a.m. if I can't sleep, because
Sure.
it's a Tuesday game for me. It's Cops and Springer, and I love both equally. You know, I
Didn't
used
know
to,
this about you. I really didn't know this
For real?
about you. No, I didn't know you went Tuesdays with Cops and Springer. I knew you liked Springer.
Here's how deep my Springer was. I used to DVR it, and I clicked all episodes, so not new ones,
Not new. Everything.
all episodes. Yeah, and there was a good period. I've never been able to sleep a lot, but there was a good period where I was watching maybe 3 a night, like in bed to try to go to sleep.
Jeez.
And I'd fast forward through them too, where it was just
Sure,
like, all
to
right, let's
get
get to
to
the
the-
good. Let's get to the good shit.
Get to the fight. Did you ever get down with Jenny Jones?
No, I never got down with Jenny Jones.
Oh.
I'm trying to think who else was in that world. Maury started picking it up for me because he turned every episode into a paternity test episode.
Yeah.
So I was dipping my toe in that water for a while.
Right.
And they were all kind of the same, and he was doing 2-parters, and I was like, man, I can't stick around for that second part.
Yeah.
But they were all in that same vein eventually.
So I fall asleep to boring documentary stuff.
Yes.
The newest one is Trial by Media. And do you remember the Jenny Jones murder?
The Jenny Jones
Where
murder.
she did a show where she was like secret lover, and it ended up being the guy's dude friend that was like, I love you. And he's like, oh shit. And like kind of played it off on the show.
Right.
And then like went and fucking killed the gay guy.
Oh, yes.
That was like,
yes,
right?
yes. I remember that story.
So I kind of watched
That was a big deal,
but
man.
that's when she was just moving into the world of like these like Maury, Jerry
Yeah.
Springer area. Before that, she was trying to be a
I think it happened in Atlanta, if I'm not mistaken. My hometown. What was it? Atlanta, Georgia? There. Yeah, look it up, man. I want to say it was in Atlanta. Oh, the article you pulled up was the Atlanta
Michigan.
Constitution. Oh, it was Michigan, huh?
right? Yeah.
You know what? I'm thinking of the realtors. There was a realtor who killed his wife there, and
in Georgia.
Yeah, that was a crazy murder mystery.
That was because of a talk show.
A lawyer. Sorry. Yes, it was this lawyer. Yeah. No, it ended up on all the talk shows.
I'll let you get
every
through
single
it.
talk show it ended up on. And
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Tow Cars was the name, and it was something in tow cars. Was the law firm.
Okay.
And I want to say her name was like Sarah Tokars, and but it was on all the Oprahs and the whole thing and all that shit. So I get those confused, and I apologize for that.
Sure.
Refresh me on the Jenny Jones one.
Of that.
Yeah.
Of the murder?
Yeah. So
that's all it was.
A gay guy came out on the show?
No. So it was like she was doing this segment sort of like Maury, where if you really wanted to tell someone you love them, you don't know how to do it here, right? And I think she might have even put in the, they do the call to action after, like, hey, if you know anyone, call da-da-da-da, right? And I think it was same sex. So, and this was way back in the day when it was
kind of taboo.
And so it was a friend that wanted to tell someone that he loved them. And it ended up being his straight guy friend who maybe was straight, maybe wasn't. Do you know what I mean? And so after the fact, because of how he just got blindsided. Like, that's back in the day when they really did, like, keep you in an isolated thing, have you come out, not know what the fuck's going on.
And you were shocked.
And you were actually shocked.
Yeah.
Now I feel like there's a little bit less of that. So remember that at all? There was a little bit less.
Ooh, put that up on the screen there, Alec. Look at that.
So see his nervous smile?
Yeah.
That's him being like, oh. And he goes, yeah, you got me. And you could tell he's just like very uncomfortable.
Yep.
It's not cool to do, right? So I think since then, and Jenny Jones was in the courtroom. It was a big trial. They were trying to sue Jenny Jones.
I was going to say, I think there was a lawsuit against her, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And she had to actually testify, and it ended up, she did really well. She's a smart person. She's actually a lawyer. But she did really well, but ended up crumbling when they were like, you wanted ratings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You wanted this to happen. You wanted the frustration. You wanted the surprise. You wanted the uncomfortableness. I find now that they don't really do that as much, right? There's been a couple lawsuits in this way where now it's like, you kind of have to tell them a little bit.
Right.
So they sort of know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's what I felt Springer was like at a certain point where
they started kind of making it
like, hey, man, I think
fake a little bit.
You know what it is.
Yeah. Because people are fucking getting killed, dude. Like,
ratings are ratings, dude. You got to go for those ratings. Speaking of ratings, LivePD they pulled off the air, and that's the that's the highest rated show on cable.
Now, we'll get into all of this and the shows that they're pulling for now. So Cops, I guess, probably wasn't making a shit ton of money, right?
LivePD definitely is.
Yes. And so with LivePD, it's not taken off. It's taken off for now during these
trying times. Yeah.
And it will go back up either after an election or something like this.
Sure.
So I think you're going to find if something is making a shit ton of money, it may not be. Can't.
Probably.
I'm not sure.
LivePD was one of those things. I wasn't into it because it felt too staged where you were just kind of clicking to cameras all over the country and shit.
Oh, people fucking loved it. And it was a little bit more real, to be honest, than Cops.
Yeah, and every time it's on, it trends #1 on Twitter, like the hashtag. And you can always tell what the biggest TV shows are when you're just like, oh, shit, LivePD's on again. Is everybody's watching that shit. But yeah, that is temporarily pulled. But how long will that really stay pulled, I wonder? But who knows? I mean, shit, they pulled Roseanne off her own goddamn show, and that was the highest rated sitcom there was.
That's true.
So you never know.
That's true.
You never know. They've now canceled Gone with the Wind. They've taken that off of HBO.
Our producer, Alec, is so
devastated.
Alec
is devastated by that.
He's
a huge Gone with the Wind fan. If you go to his Instagram, it is pictures of him at the Gone with the Wind house.
He's gone. Yeah.
Wearing a dress and the whole thing. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's some times where he
likes
goes
to-
as Clark Gable,
Mm-hmm.
and then others where he
Yeah,
goes
but he's
as,
into that like Civil War, type of reenactment
yeah,
stuff.
Yeah. Always
And
plays
that's
a
just-
Union soldier, though.
He's just that's a little bit about him, He's just fun. He'll also go to a Ren fair. You know what I mean?
Why not?
Have you ever been to a Ren fair?
No. Is it
Me neither.
medieval times?
I have not been, but Giorgio's probably been.
Yeah, you goddamn
You
right.
can
he has.
always tell who's been
You
to a
can
Ren fair.
Spot it. What's a Ren fair?
Okay,
Giorgio?
so it's a Renaissance fair, right?
Oh,
so
Renaissance.
It's like,
Yeah.
so
Medieval
it's like,
times. Yeah.
yeah, but if you're cool, you call it a Ren fair, okay?
Shut the fuck up. Is
I'm
that the no?
Yes!
Oh, Giorgio's
Dude, Ren
been.
Fair 2013, yeah.
I have not been to a Ren fair.
Where they have the big turkey
leg,
legs
yeah.
and the boobs are all out and
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
walking around with steins.
Mugs full of shit.
Yeah, and I don't get it.
Not
but,
that I wouldn't enjoy it.
Sure.
Like, I'd be all in.
Right.
I don't think I've lived in an area where a Ren fair has been close enough for me to partake
You
in.
have. You have.
I don't think
They're
I don't think
everywhere.
so. Because look, here's how much I get down with that shit. I went mid-20s. I went to Excalibur Hotel in Vegas
Sure.
and
Who hasn't?
decided with my buddies. We just got trashed and went and saw the medieval times.
Oh, yeah. Well, medieval times, that's a fun little,
It is when you're a kid. Probably not as an adult.
Oh, I would go 100% right now. It's
Yeah,
like
we
the
went.
pirate show
We
thing.
went. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
A Ren fair is a real immersion into all of that, right? So you're definitely going to have to.
If you hook up with
Where
somebody
the
from a
old-
Ren fair, you win at life.
Right.
You win at life. So,
Lots of rabbit owners and snake owners. Do you know what I'm saying?
I bet you there's
Lots
a lot
of
of
lizard.
couples. There's a lot of couples who are into it.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a dress up, maybe a sexy thing too. At the end of the night, where it's just like, hey, we go to the Ren fair, we keep the costumes on.
Fun fact,
And then,
Foxy Noxy is super into Ren fairs.
really?
Yeah.
I did
She's
not
a
know that.
weirdo.
She's the one on the murder in Italy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amanda Knox.
Amanda Knox.
Very into Ren
I
fair.
never got the
There
Foxy
we go.
Noxy
Oh,
thing.
there
it
you
is.
go.
There it is. Pop that up. Whoopsies.
Oh.
Somebody's got a secret.
Uh-huh.
Somebody's got a secret.
And it's,
Man, that place is packed. Too.
I'm not meant for this time.
There it
I'm
is.
meant for an earlier time, right?
I think they actually
There
put that
you
guy
go.
in Game of Thrones afterwards.
Lots of casting was done at a
Yeah.
Ren fair. Yeah,
Pop
for
him
sure,
up on
for
the
sure.
screen. Because I think they saw him in a Ren fair and then they actually put him in Game of Thrones, and that's
Yeah.
a real life story.
And
That's a
those
fun
turkey
thing for
legs,
him.
here's another fun fact. Those turkey legs, not as good as they look.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Very heavy on the sodium.
Every time I see those things somewhere, I'm like, dude, that looks fucking so good. And if you ever get one.
Who eats them? I judge my friends
I've
on
gotten
who eats
one.
those things.
I've gotten one before. Somewhere.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, like just,
Dirtbag.
but we know this.
Yeah. We know that about you. We're not surprised
there
by
we go.
that.
They're making their own swords and everything.
Yeah. Look at the fun they're
A
having.
real blacksmith.
Look
right
at that
there.
guy. Oh, man.
We've
Look at
got to
that. Look at
go
the
now.
smile on his face.
We've got to go now. Live from the Ren Fair.
Yeah, live from the Ren Fair. Next time we're near a Ren Fair, we'll definitely be there and we'll report to you. Fuck, we might even do a show there, a live show within the Ren Fair.
We'd have to. Ren.
Yeah. Ren Fair, yeah. Sorry I threw an extra T on there.
Rent
Got a
fair.
little excited. Got a little excited, you know?
That'd be a fun fair too, though. The rent fair.
Be a blast. Everybody can talk about their issues.
Only renters allowed.
My super, he won't fix
Yeah.
my sink. He won't fix my sink. I don't want to pay my rent. You know?
Gosh.
That's an Italian guy from New York.
I got it.
Hey,
Yeah, it was really good.
What do you want from me? I'm Italian, you know?
Yeah,
I'm Italian. The Olive Garden isn't a real restaurant. You got to go down to Ravioli's on 6th.
Ravioli.
Yeah. It's like, what are we
It's a
doing?
little on the nose.
It's like
but
Jimmy's
yeah.
Corner in New York.
In the middle of the block.
The bar that is not on a corner. It is in the middle of the street.
Jimmy's Corner.
Jimmy's Corner. Hey, you know me. I'll be down at Jimmy's Corner. Come by later.
Anyways, I digress. I'm really sorry that I went on that
Rant?
rant.
No, I'm actually proud. I'm actually proud of it. This guy, the snapshot of this guy, this white guy here, is going to be in my mind forever.
Yeah, and I don't understand what's happening.
Look,
but
man, it's the magic of Ren Fair. I'm not going to shit on it. I'm not going to pull my pants down and shit on it.
Lots of maypoles, you know.
Guy, that guy's having a better time than me right now.
Yeah.
I actually feel sad about my life after seeing that guy's face.
It's very sexual, the Ren Fair.
They're all into anal.
It's very sexual.
They all do anal, I guarantee it, men and women.
No, it's just sort of like a role playing, like, you know.
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
Nothing's wrong with that.
It's great.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that.
Not at all. I bet you there's been a lot of skin pinched in some metal, too, afterwards. Where it's like, ugh. Just go ahead and take off the garb there. Yeah. I'm getting caught.
Sure.
I'm getting caught in that chain link protector vest.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and flop that off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, but Alec, apologize. The Gone with the Wind is gone.
Yeah. Again, back to that. Sorry.
R.I.P. Condolences to that.
But I think you can still probably do your Civil War reenactments. Unclear if that's going to still be something.
Probably not.
So we're taking away everything that Alec loves, you know?
Yes. People this morning are going up and buying DVDs, old school DVDs. This is real. This is what's happening right now. Of all of the movies they think are going to be canceled. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. So if you go to Amazon right now, look at the sales for Gone with the Wind DVD.
Wow.
Through the roof. They were talking about others that are going to be canceled here.
Okay.
Coming up soon. Blazing Saddles was on that list. I agree. Buy Blazing Saddles while you can. That will be gone as well. The Jerk, Steve Martin.
Yeah.
That will definitely be gone. These are two of the greatest comedies of all time. Yes. And by the way, just to put a test out there, like put my pole in the water.
Sure.
See if the fish are biting out there. Mm-hmm. I just typed in Tropic Thunder into Twitter. It is on fire right now. Saying RDJ. I didn't know he went by that either.
RDJ?
Yeah. And I feel
like it.
So do I. And I feel like shitty now because I saw like 800 posts of RDJ, man. No, don't cancel RDJ. And I was like, shit, I didn't know he went by that. Kind of like that.
I like it.
Almost makes him like an athlete. Mm-hmm. So they were like, look, buy it up now because
God, we just watched that movie.
Just watched it, I think 2 weeks ago.
Really fucking funny. They do make a comment about him wearing blackface and like they give him shit for it pretty much the entire movie. So
you know what's funny?
Don't know.
So he was on Joe Rogan 2 or 3 months ago and they talked about it.
Yeah.
And he said, look, man, you definitely cannot make that movie now. This is before any of this stuff happened.
Oh, yeah. You can't make it now.
He goes, you can't make it. And he goes, you know, it is what it is. Comedy's essentially gone. And he goes, it's a shame. But he goes, you can never get that greenlit at a studio now. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, he's right. He is definitely right. I mean, look, I can speak from my own experience right now. Like, shit, I just got asked to fucking rewrite a big budget studio movie. And I'm going through the first draft of this. And they want more edge to it. And I was like, man, there's been 2 other writers on this. And this is definitely not edgy at all. And I wonder if it's out of fear or I wonder if they're hiring writers out of like, hey, man, can you just make this as vanilla and boring as possible? And I don't know the answer.
Right.
But, you know, I only have to do 1 draft. So I'm going yard with it. Maybe
yeah, and then it's better to take stuff out,
yes,
right?
Correct. Because you still have the old drafts. So if you want to go back to that, congratulations.
Right.
Because a lot of people don't know. Like, I rewritten a shit ton of movies. So it's like, and then you always go and watch it and see what stuff of yours actually ended up in it. But, it's surprising and it's weird. It's really weird. There was an article in Deadline today on, which is like the Hollywood Insider website, and what do they call it? What was the word for that? It was the
racial reckoning.
That's it. The racial reckoning, which is a great phrase. It's a great phrase for everything that's going on right now. And they're right. Your buddy, you're not your buddy, but one of your little cooks that you like, one of your little chefs, your little bistro guys, he just got stepped down.
Oh,
Bon
so
Appetit.
Yeah. So there's actually 2 food magazines. So Bon Appetit, the editor,
huge.
stepped down.
He did because there was
a picture surfaced of him doing Puerto Rican face.
Right. And with his wife. By the way, it didn't surface. So I did a little more research on that story. It didn't surface.
Posted
his
it.
wife did.
Yeah.
And said, hey, remember this Halloween party? What I didn't know was this.
They posted it in.
So here's the thing. You can pop up that picture. It was 13 years ago.
Yeah.
That they were at this party. I didn't see any makeup at all, but I also don't know what he looked like. He just looked like a kind of sunburn.
She captioned it.
Adam Rapaport.
Yeah, Adam Rapaport. She captioned it something like Puerto Rican phrase or whatever.
Something like that. Yeah. But like I looked at that picture and I was like, I didn't know anything was wrong with it, to be honest with you.
Well, if you know them to be like very dorky white editors, then you would know something was wrong.
Here's the thing. So I don't.
Yeah.
And I was just looking at it from here's a picture perspective. Like,
yeah, no.
I don't see it, but you know them better than I. He looks a little sunburned to me, and that's about it. But hey, I whatever, man. You know, like. And he stepped down for this, and it was just like, man.
And a number of other things where he's like, been in just not very inclusive as far as paying black editors or featuring black restaurants and different kinds of food, I guess, basically.
I guess. I feel it was his wife. Yeah, TBT to me and my poppy. That's all she wrote. Mm-hmm. Let's face it. I mean, look. Women call men that all the time.
Those days are gone. Do you know what I mean?
They're not.
They are, though. That's the whole point.
I guess.
They're
I feel
not
bad
for us privately, but in the world of posting and being higher up and making a bunch of money, like those days are gone.
You know, he came home to his wife and just said,
like,
thanks,
are you
Tammy.
Fucking kidding me?
Thanks, Tammy. We just lost our house, Tammy.
I'm stepping down, friend.
Oof. Man, that one I don't necessarily agree with, but
the only thing I agree with is taking down Chrissy Teigen, which she's also getting caught in this tornado.
You know, I'm glad you brought that up because the audience knows our equal hatred of Chrissy Teigen. Equal. We are not separate, but equal on our hatred for Chrissy Teigen.
Sure.
This one too. I cannot get behind. If you want to cancel Chrissy Teigen just because she's a fucking dork and you don't like her, fine. But for this picture, I can't get behind it. I think it was a Cowboys and Indians costume for Halloween.
Right.
Alec, if you can pull that one up. It is your stock standard out of the bag Indian costume that you buy at a Halloween shop.
Those days are over. Okay.
Boy.
That's what we're doing today is we're saying goodbye to those days.
Yeah, pop it up.
Yeah, go ahead.
Pop it up for the audience.
Did you knew about the most recent controversy that she had with Allison Roman, right? Which is a fucking nobody. But she's a food writer and editor at New York Times.
Okay.
Which is huge. And she's written a bunch of books and in the food world is pretty big.
Sure.
She had done an interview in this kind of small paper called like Consumer something. Modern Consumer, something like this. And talked about Chrissy Teigen and how her books are written by other people and she has a book and then all of a sudden she has a line at Target and then she has all of this stuff and now she's an Instagram farm basically and there's people just doing her content for her and she was like, it's horrifying. I don't want to be that. It's basically what she said.
Okay.
So she got canceled for that. Now things are surfacing of her dressing like in Puerto Rican, Latin, whatever, as like a cholo or whatever.
Sure.
And Chrissy Teigen. So they're now together again in a different controversy.
Yeah.
But
I can stop you there. I think I've done it at a party. I think we all went as like cholo gangsters out in L.A. one time to a Halloween party.
I'm sure. Well, I thought I was one.
Yeah.
I'm going to get popped
for
pretending to be
You thought
Mexican.
you were a full-blown Mexican for 35 years.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that's worth. I just went to a Halloween party.
A little bit less than that.
I just went to a Halloween party. You thought you were an actual physical Mexican for 35 years of your life.
Not 35. Not 35.
Okay.
A little bit less than that, but yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely over 30 years.
Yeah. So I don't even know what you do for that.
Oh, I mean, I'm just waiting.
I think you get exiled to an island at that point.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the hammer to come down.
You pretended you were a different race. And culture for a very long time.
Oh, I unknowingly dozelled for years, right? On this show. Tiffany dozelled.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now
I don't know.
We're all done, so we can pretty much say whatever we want now at this point.
Yeah, because we're about to get canceled, right? Oh, okay.
Yes.
So
yes.
this is our last show, and sad.
Yep.
You know? Going out with a bang. No. I don't know.
You never know.
You never know.
The reason why I bring it up is because I really don't know. And I'm being genuine when I say that. I had a book banned, this one, for 3 weeks on Amazon until they actually read the goddamn thing. Just because of the cover.
Yeah.
And I genuinely don't know. As much fun as I make of this and I joke around about it, I genuinely don't know. I'm looking at Bert Kreischer. I'm looking at his tweet right now. He just said, okay, cool. So I just deleted all of my text messages last night. Everything across the board. And no lie, that went through my mind. Not because of things that I've said, but of things my friends have said to me where I'm like,
okay.
You know?
Yeah.
And then you wonder if you should put like, if somebody said something and you put like an emoji face after it, you know, when you're like, I'm not agreeing with you, but I kind of want this conversation to end. You know, when you emoji somebody out of your conversation,
sure.
You're like, okay, cool, man. Here's enough things.
I do the peace sign.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
When I'm done, right? Because then it's like,
I go thumbs up.
I'm out. Yeah.
I go a big thumbs up.
Thumbs up. People not everyone responds to a thumbs up being done. They sometimes will be like, oh, okay, cool. Like, keep going.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the peace sign definitely shuts everything down.
Yeah. Let's see. I had one friend, a very, very close friend, who about a year and a half ago started censoring his text messages when he sent them. So if he put the word fucking in there, he would start out. Isn't that wild? And I was like, yeah, hey, I texted him back. I was like, hey, man.
Hey, bro, like,
it's
we're
me.
Good.
You can say like literally anything you want to me. I don't give a shit. And you're just like, you know, you never know. And I was like, all right, dead serious. I'll tell you off air who it is, but
yeah.
It's about a year and a half ago.
Okay. Look, and he had the right idea.
Still does it, by the way. Still to this day, year and a half, he did not let that go. He still does it on my text messages.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So people are worried. They are worried. I had another friend call me and say, hey, man, can I ask your advice on something that happened like fucking 12 years ago to him or whatever? And I was just like, yeah, sure. Because one of his castmates got ousted from this thing, and he was worried about some fucking story or whatever. And I was just like, yeah, are you really worried about that? I was like, it was fucking forever ago, and that it was an incorrect thing. Not that he did, but
right.
Somebody fucking spouted off about something, and people are worried, man. People are nervous out there.
Yeah.
And it's a weird time. it's a real weird time. And then the defunding of the police thing is not. I'm definitely not cool with that. Like across the board.
Yes.
Not cool with that.
Yeah. So.
Ohio State's the latest to do it.
Yeah.
Which is my school. That's my alma mater. And all of the faculty, 300 faculty, signed a petition saying they did not want police on campus anymore.
Well, when they were explaining it as well, when I was listening to someone talk about it, was like they want to replace the response team basically with like if there's someone that's having a mental breakdown or a mental episode, they want, you know, like 911 to come, I guess, or some kind of mental facility to come get them, but unarmed. That just seems a little fucking dangerous to me.
Yes. And
like I get the idea behind it, but that would only work in a completely idealistic world where no one gets hurt and no one tries to hurt people or kill them.
Yeah, and somebody with a mental illness, right, who's either wielding a knife or a gun or something, or, you know, a spike bat, whatever it is, right? I love spike bats. I don't see enough of those anymore. I really don't. But what you're basically telling the victims is, all right, when you see this person, judge who they are and then call the appropriate number, because it's not going to be the police anymore, right?
Well, it'll be the police for a certain thing, and then for other...
But you're going to have to sit on the phone, describe what it is, and most of these instances, everything is so bang bang that it's just like, man, I've got a break-in at the house. Who is it?
By the way,
I don't know. Let me peek around the corner and find out what he looks like and what's going on here.
As someone who listens to a lot of and watches a lot of murder and murder mystery and real 911 calls, there is nothing that will frustrate you more than hearing a 911 operator talk to someone that is in immediate danger.
That's all I kept thinking about.
Because they just don't have the infrastructure set up for it. So it's like, when someone calls from a cell phone, why the fuck do they not know where you are?
I don't know. And why do you have to stay on the line for 20 minutes and describe every single piece of what's going on?
Staying on the line once they're on their way, I understand. But it's the
constant questions. Yeah.
In the beginning, where the last one I listened to was this guy was in a closet. And someone was like killing his family outside the fucking closet. And he's calling 911. Please come to this address. Yeah. And she's like, what? I can't hear you. What? And was so loud through the phone that the person that had that was killing the family, whatever, found him in the closet because he could hear the 911 operator.
Did he get murdered?
Yelling so loud. Yeah.
Yes.
So and he was just like, duh, and he like hung up. Because he was like, this is where I am. Please come. This is what's happening. Da, da, da. This is what he says. This is where I am. This is my address. What?
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to have to calm down. I cannot hear you. Okay, sir. Okay, what? Like that?
Yeah.
So if you think that you don't need to call, like there's a reason why when you call, like police, whoever can come is going to come.
The fastest. Right? Yep.
I don't know if that's exactly what they're talking about. Like I really... When they say defund police, like you really need to look into their exact plan. Yeah. Because on the face, it sounds like, no, fuck no. But they do have reasoning and a way that it may work. I just don't think it. So just be scared to live in that world.
There's a friend of ours. He's been on Drinkin Bros numerous times. His name is Mike the Cop. Huge Instagram following and social media following and everything. He broke it down. About what it was like to defund the police. A celebrity, I forget who it was. It might have been Chrissy Teigen. No, it was Sarah Silverman, I think. Said something to him online, and he goes specifically about the LAPD. Yeah. And he just said, "Look, if you take $150 million away from the police out of $1 billion," and he goes, "Let's just say it is $1 billion. I don't know that that's their actual budget,
sure,
but let's just say it is. I'm going to break down to you the salary." And what it costs to keep all these people going and blah, 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 blah. And he goes, that's why you can't do this. With this at Ohio State, because I can speak on this personally.
Yeah.
It is the largest college in the nation, 65,000 students. Right behind it is University of Texas, Austin. And it's only, they flip-flop every year by a couple hundred students. It is massive. There has been numerous times where I was at Ohio State, shit got fucked up where I was at or around me, and you needed the actual police. The on-campus security, whenever on-campus security showed up to break up a party or a fight or a domestic dispute, because you see that as well. Boyfriend and girlfriend get drunk, start fucking kicking the shit out of each other. Like every single time, those guys are laughed at and thrown to the street. They're going to show up with a can of mace and a zip tie maybe. They have nothing. They aren't trained properly. And every time they show up, it's a fucking joke. Where you're just like, oh, who called campus police? Meh, meh. You show up on your bicycle and you're like, what are you going to do for this situation?
Right.
In the case of Columbus, Ohio, because this is in the heart of Columbus, Ohio State is. It is so big. There is so many students.
It's like a town, dude.
It's a city.
Last time we were trying to find you, Dan and I were trying to find you guys.
At the game, yeah.
At
At
a
the tailgate. Yeah.
Holy shit. We literally drove through the whole campus, and it took us a very long time.
An hour and a half, probably.
Dan was pissed once we got to you guys.
Yeah, sure. I'm sure.
But it was like this one-way thing. It was a town. It was a full-on town without the correct, like, traffic, whatever. But anyways.
Yeah. And I will say this to these 300 faculty members who did this. If you don't want the students to be safe and you don't want police officers to be on your campus and on your school, you don't live there. The faculty doesn't live there. They're with their families somewhere in the fucking suburbs. And that's all great to say that you don't want cops on your campus. But then let's extend it to your personal house. Put a scarlet letter on your door. And I'm not saying it in a facetious manner. The colors of our school are scarlet and gray. So just put a scarlet letter on your door and say, hey, man, if something bad happens to my house, I don't want the police to show up. That way you show a unity with the students that you're supposedly protecting with this. But that way you guys are all in step. So wherever you are in whatever suburbs you live in, you can be equal and just say, you don't need the police either, apparently. If you as faculty members are saying the students don't need the police, then you don't either. And you don't fucking deserve them. So just put a letter up on the door and no police ever has to help you. Block 911 from your phones. And I think you're good to go at that point because it's dangerous. Michael Rapaport went on Rapaport's super left. He went on a huge rant about this too. He had an Instagram post this morning.
Because the problem is, we'll just say it, white kids are going to shoot up your school, right?
Yeah, probably. But again, you're going to need police.
You're going to need, like...
Shit is going to get fucked up, white and black. It's going to get fucked up and you need the police.
Yeah, but the white kids are the ones shooting up the school.
The schools.
Just saying.
Yeah. But with Rapaport, his post this morning was pretty genuine, and he was showing pictures of 9/11.
Yeah.
And police officers helping people at 9/11.
Yeah.
And he said, look, man, nobody said defund the police when 9/11 was going on in the city of New York. Why are we doing this now?
Yeah.
All I would ask is this. Think about all of the times you've needed the police in your life. I bet you it's a lot more than you actually think. Because, man, it would be a scary world without them. I got robbed in Los Angeles 3 times. 2 of them, I was home. Mm-hmm. That happened when I was home. Mm-hmm. The first one was a white guy. Yeah. It was a white guy, career criminal. Apparently, he'd been in the same neighborhood for 8 years, stealing all people's shit. And he was in and out of my place, and I think it was like 29 seconds. Mm-hmm. So we were able to watch the surveillance cameras afterwards or whatever, and he had a knife. Fucking ended up stealing my car and all this other shit. But he was in and out so quickly that he grabbed keys, wallets, and like watches, like the valuable stuff that you usually keep in a, little dish by the door or whatever.
Yeah.
And the guy was so proficient at it that it was just like, holy shit. But all I kept thinking was, at that time, it was my roommate and his girlfriend and me and my girlfriend at the time. Mm-hmm. And 4 people in there in a 2-bedroom apartment. All of us were sleeping. And it was just like, dude, first call you make is you call the police. Otherwise, great. You don't report anything. And the police found my car. I've gotten 3 cars stolen. They found them all 3 times. Like, yeah. Just think about it. That's all I'm asking. Just think of how many times you've needed the police in your life and ask if defunding them is the best option. Because the world is crazy. We have 38 million Americans. As a nation, that is way too many people to police ourselves. It is. If we lived in a tiny town or, some tiny little country where it was just like, hey, we got 4,000 people, then yeah, you could probably live without police. They're digging right now on like CNN and everywhere else to find towns that they have gotten rid of the police, and they found one. There was a town in New Jersey that were just like Camden or something, and they were fed up with it, and they were like, fuck this. And like I guess 15 years ago, they voted to defund the police, so the police just all quit. One of the two. Mm-hmm. And they said, where are they now and what's going on in the community now? And they had these, bless you. They had very positive things to say about what happened when there was no police force, right? What they didn't say is that it took 15 years to do this. I don't know if you have 15 years to go to figure out this problem right now, but I definitely don't think defunding the police is one of them. And it was sad to see my college do this shit. Like,
yeah.
Fuck, man. Because I lived there for 4 years, man. And
Does that mean like during games and stuff, there's going to be no?
Yes. So I'm glad you brought that up. So one of the provisions in this that I read was it is going to mean during games, and the games are going to be allegedly, because they don't have a final total yet, but at 50% capacity. And they're saying, hey, man, we could use less police there and some less police other things. And it's just like, you've all seen what happens once the quarantine was over from the riots, right?
Yeah.
People went out of their house. And I think a lot of people were just amped to get out of their house, too, as well, where they're like, man, I've been cooped up. Like, fuck, let's just go out and see people. And we're all sharing the same experience right now, because I think, everybody was obviously against what had happened up there in Minneapolis. And a lot of people wanted to get out. Wait till football season starts. Even if these stadiums are at 50% capacity, everybody's going to be going to the stadium, though, to party, to hang out, to enjoy, to watch TVs on other people's tailgates and all that other stuff. Like, if there is no police, it will get wild as shit. And that's not even an SEC school.
Right.
Why don't you hop on down to LSU? Tell me what it would be like without the police. And by the way, I'm not shitting on anybody from LSU. It's a blast. Some say it's too much fun. But
you're just saying they can party there?
Yeah, they can party their ass off there. They rage there. But you need some police after raging that hard all day.
Yeah. And I don't know.
That was one of and I bring up LSU because that was one of the funnest tailgates we've ever been to, and I didn't know. I had no idea. Tony Tamparello, and I'll give him a shout out if he's listening to the show today. He was the one who threw this tailgate, and it was bartenders and luges of shots and everything. I mean, it was unbelievable. It was one of the funnest times I've ever had in my life. But there was some people who were too fucked up at the end of that, and you were like, man, you're definitely going to need the police later for wherever that guy goes. Oh, yeah, there's one of them. Pop that picture up. Yeah, the luges are infamous. That it's amazing. Like, LSU's a blast, but after doing shots down a luge, and the beauty of it is these luges that are set up are facing like the street, so anybody who walks up can do it. Doesn't matter if you're at that tailgate.
Oh, this was
pre-game. Yeah, the game hadn't even started.
Was pre-COVID.
Oh, pre-COVID, yeah. But
anyone can walk up and do a luge?
If you tell me that this is going to stop even with COVID, no way.
Okay.
I'd put my mouth on that goddamn thing today if it was out.
You never stopped.
No, never stopped.
No. As we know, you had it, and you never stopped.
Conquered it. Lived my life.
Had it. Never wore a mask.
Conquered it.
Didn't change my life at all.
And then this morning, I know I was talking about the Underground, the secret CrossFit place I go because it's the only gym open. Sure. When you walk in, they ask you to tell a story, like a personal story about your life. No, but just about how you're feeling. Of like, hey, get it out. If you're feeling shitty today, tell people you're feeling shitty and then just move on and do the workout. Be a grown up and do the workout. And I was just like, oh, all right, cool. Okay. I like it. There was this one woman who lost her shit this morning. And she goes, hi, I'm so-and-so. And you have to feel like a number too of like how sore you are and how great you feel. So you say your number. She's like, hey, I'm like a 6. And I'm going to be real fucking honest with you. I'm goddamn tired of the COVID shit. I just wish I had it. I can move the fuck on with my life. And I apologize if I'm not being sensitive enough for the rest of you. I'm dying laughing. And I don't know her.
Did people get pissed?
There was 2 people that were just like,
yeah, there's always going to be a,
Yeah, I was dying laughing. And she was like, man, I'm ready to go on about my fucking life here, And,
oh, dude, like.
Yeah.
So I've said before that it's divided our neighborhood, right? Mm-hmm. It's big time now.
Is it really?
Like, it is real. Like, the moms that were all up at the pool last year, all together, hanging, blah, 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 no longer. They're on either sides. They're not talking to each other. And they're sending passive-aggressive, weird posts on the moms of da-da-da-da-da, whatever my neighborhood is. And it is real.
That's crazy.
All over quarantine styles.
Okay. So it's Bloods and Crips over quarantine.
Purely quarantine style. Like Karens against Susans.
So which are you?
The Karen, I'm a Susan.
Okay, so they hate you?
They hate me because because the kids are playing because we did quarantine for the amount of time that we could do it, which was, I think, a month. And then they don't really know that I kind of didn't have my kids hang out with other kids because we were still working and we had just traveled. And so I kind of like kept them away for a month of like when they were still playing, other kids were playing.
Oh, you did it. Okay.
Because they weren't working. And so I was like, well, I've said before on the show, like if they're playing together and none of them are leaving to like go to work or anything,
right.
I'm going to give them that, you know?
Sure.
Because like they're basically quarantining as one big family and they all know what the other one's doing and where they're going. Me, I come to work, I work with other people,
Yeah.
I had just traveled like literally the day before shutdown.
Yep.
And you stayed up super late, bare feet with Post Malone behind, you know what I mean? Like naked.
Of course.
So I kind of gave that month of just like, all right, we're going to do it. And then after that, it was just like, whoa, sorry.
What happened to you?
Someone just outed my neighborhood. Ruben, what the fuck, bro? Calm the fuck down. But anyway,
here's the thing. Everybody knows like we're public record for all shit. So
okay. Anyways,
nothing I can do about it.
Ruben, you're with the Karens. Anyways.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's Karens against Susans now, and it's real.
That's crazy.
It is like pack your kids up, get out, don't look at them. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So a neighborhood divided, and I'm happy to be on the Susan side. What up, girls? What up, Susans? You know who you are. People took this just like anything else. They're taking a real stance.
Yeah.
You know?
This is the first time we've had like a community pool, I think. That wasn't like LA pools where everybody's doing fucking ecstasy at noon and shit like that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is the first time. Yeah,
the
exactly,
real
dude.
Community pool.
Yeah,
community meeting.
Because in Los Angeles, if you live in an apartment complex or a neighborhood with a pool, like, congratulations. It's fucking one more time. A lot of Molly, pure MDMA. Sprinkle that in a little margarita and get that day going.
Sure.
Norco margaritas used to be a thing as well.
Oh.
Crush
they never
those up.
ceased to be a thing.
Miss them.
In my household.
Hashtag miss you, Steven Dorff. He was the one who invented them.
Oh, bro.
What?
We got to do some sponsors. Sorry.
Oh, do we? Okay. Yeah. Well, anyways, I'll finish this thought real quick. With the neighborhood pool, this is my first experience with it. Because in Georgia, there was a river behind my neighborhood, so we all swam in the river. There was a pool, but it wasn't. Nobody really went there, so
yeah,
it was a river, and I was just like, all right, great. This is my first experience with it. And now
Mine
you're
too.
Karens versus Susans, eh?
Mine too. Like this is my first. I had friends that lived close enough to me, but I was never in a neighborhood with an HOA in my life until now. And I think I think HOA stands for I get to be in your fucking business. I don't know. Like people feel like because they like pay the same people and they all kind of live on the same street that they get to like be in people's business and tell them what to do. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's abuse of power, Karen, and you know who you are.
Ooh. We get some sponsors, Jabes. Maybe Karen should get a ghost bed. Just relax. Maybe a better night's sleep would help her out.
Nope.
Best mattress on the planet. Best pillows on the planet. COVID-free, Karen. There's no coronavirus on these. Comes in a box.
Her name isn't Karen, by the way.
No, it's what everybody's calling moms.
I think there may be like
a
Karen.
Karens.
No, I know, but
a Karen,
well,
like a real one?
It's what they're calling people that are like,
yeah. It's like Brads and Chads. Now they're calling
talk
like
to your manager
uppity
type
whites,
of,
house moms, Karens. Yeah. So just want to correct everybody on that. Keep you hip to the white lingo. Brads and Chads and Kyles. That's straight through the drywall.
Thank you,
with
Ross.
Monster Energy.
Cutting edge. You really got your.
I'm not
you
actually.
Really got your finger on the pulse.
But we talked about it yesterday.
What?
Where I said, dude, I want to bring back the Kyles.
Oh yeah.
I think a lot more people need to be drinking Monster and punching holes through drywalls. It's just me.
Just saying.
I love a good drywall. And then Dan was like, I'm very angry and I'd love to punch drywall. And I was like, great. But all I'm saying is this. If you got some cash down at your apartment and or house that you're renting and you can't punch a hole through a drywall, put your fist into a ghost bed from ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros. 25% off everything in the entire store. Also, if you get a mattress right now, you get 2 free pillows with that. And as always, their 36-month pay-as-you-go program, no interest, is there. Go to ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros today. Next up, James, we got Postmates. Postmates, the best in the biz. Best in the biz, James.
Yes.
What?
I'm going to use Postmates tonight for the kids.
Are you?
Yeah.
Good. That you needed to stop the whole show for that.
No, I don't know. No, people are getting people are just getting very crazy on the boards talking
why not?
about why I'm pissed at Karen.
Do they know?
No, they're just having fun. No, they're just having fun with it.
Oh, who cares?
Anyways.
Let them have fun.
No,
Let the
I know.
children play.
No.
Let the children laugh. Let the children play. Postmates. Look, kids, you can buy anything off of Postmates these days. Literally anything. If you want a condom, you can get condoms. If you want KFC, congratulations. Get yourself some rubbers and some KFC. You know? It's a fun game. Maybe get a tender and try to put a rubber on that.
You know what? Get rubber gloves and KFC just so that you can because it's so oily, right?
Do whatever you want.
Ooh, that could be fun.
You can play the Postmates game, too, of how much fucked up shit can you get delivered to your house. The good thing is, if you use the promo code REVOLUTION, you get $100 off in free delivery charges. And that's the only thing that jacks up the prices, to be honest with you, is the delivery charges. So get on it. Go to Postmates. If you're with another app, switch over, dude. Postmates is the best there is, for real.
You'll see.
That's all there is. Next up, James, we got keeps.com/revolution.
Oh, perfect. I have not gotten my hair done in forever. Go ahead.
Great. You want to use Keeps on that to help you get that done?
No, we're just talking about hair.
Just rapping about life?
I just need to throw that out there.
I think you look great.
Thanks so much.
Never hotter.
So do you.
Never hotter.
How can we help the people look as great as we do?
By using keeps.com/revolution. It's a shampoo. Helps keep the hair you got. 3 out of 4 people go bald.
Yeah.
Dudes. It sucks. It's the world. It's aging. All that other shit. This will help keeps the hair you got on your head. Go to keeps.com/revolution today. That's KEEPS.com/revolution. It is a free 30-day trial. So you go there, fucking point out the spots, and they'll come up with a concoction for you. It's free. I'm not even selling you anything. It's free for 30 days. Check it out. I said I would do it until the end of the year and then report back. So far, so good for me. So far, so good.
Good for
last but not least, StrikeForceEnergy.com.
Boom, 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 boom. Shabloinkers.
Strike Force Energy is amazing. Lasts longer than 5-hour energy. This is it right here. Boom, boom. Pop a couple squirts in and go. Pop the top. Dip it in. Good to go.
It's amazing.
4 amazing flavors, 10-pack, 40-pack, 750-milliliter bottle. Ship right to your house. I believe free shipping, too. Go to StrikeForceEnergy.com. Promo code REVOLUTION. 20% off. And it's no carbs, no sugars. Lasts longer than 5-hour energy.
Or gluten.
Jabes. One thing that I wanted to chat about, too, was Lizzo. Lizzo's trending on Twitter today. She put a TikTok video up of her working out.
Okay.
She was like, look, for all the people who are calling me fat, I've worked out religiously for 5 years.
Yeah.
And sometimes.
Dude, anyone that's seen her show.
Yes.
And seen how hard she goes and then gets on a flute. Look, I don't know.
That is the argument that is being made amongst people right now. They're like, dude, if you've been to a live show with her, that's one of the most energetic people you've ever seen. Yeah, you can pop that picture up right there. Is that she's in Women's Health? That's it. This is the video they're talking about.
Okay.
Alec, pop that up. And that's That's Lizzo, and she's in this video. She's explaining of like, hey man, I know you guys say I'm fat or I need to work out or change my body or whatever. She's like, I want you to know that I'm completely healthy and I work out every single day. I will say this. So there is a girl. There's a woman in that CrossFit class today. Same thing. It's similar to a same type of figure as Lizzo. Destroys the workouts every single day. Never has a fucking issue with the goddamn workouts. Like,
well, it sort of just goes to show you, which they all tell us, which is nutrition and what you're eating is a huge part.
It is, yes.
If you want to lose weight. If you don't, then just eat whatever you want, work out. You know what I mean? But if you do want to lose weight and have a smaller frame, you have to eat differently.
Right.
But yeah.
I'm going to say the woman in there, because again, I went to CrossFit because my gym was closed and I just wanted some form of fucking working out.
Yeah.
And it's hard. First of all, it's really hard, right? You can say whatever you want, that it's culty and all that other shit, and you're right. You'd be absolutely right about that. It's definitely culty. But it's the best and only workout I can do right now. The girl who is Lizzo-ish in my class has smoked me every single day. And it's crazy to me. So there is something to what Lizzo's saying of like, hey man, I probably work out than most people out there, but
I also eat
yes,
what I want.
Yeah.
Which, fuck it, dude. Like,
yeah.
Oh my gosh. Who cares?
Coachella's canceled. Not for racism, but actually canceled, by the way. For real.
Just canceled?
Just canceled. Every time I see that in headlines now, the word canceled, I'm like, oh my gosh.
Oh, what'd they do?
What'd they do now?
What'd Coachella do?
Coachella is canceled.
Poorly canceled after massive what?
Yes. So there's a bunch of layoffs. It was more than this, though, and I want people to understand this. So, because we've been there a few times. I have been a few times. I think you went once, right?
Twice.
Oh, yeah, you went twice.
Right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever. You do so many drugs there, you don't really know.
Yeah, and I don't really fucking
Who knows? There's 120,000 people there. If you try to social distance, which is what California is figuring the fuck out right now, if you're trying to social distance at a concert like Coachella, it is physically impossible. So this was not a terrible shock to me. Where I was
no. If they were doing it somewhere else, then I mean, I guess that's my thing. Is like, why don't they move it? But
move Coachella because they can't. So Lollapalooza is in Chicago. They've canceled as well, and they said they're going to do a virtual Lollapalooza. So I imagine the artists are going to play online in some type of YouTube thing, and
right.
Have sponsors pay for it. We'll see what happens. It's strange. We watched the Post Malone thing when he covered Nirvana, so he could raise money for COVID victims and all that other shit. And I think he raised close to $10 million. Post Malone.
It was perfect.
It was great.
It was everything of the sort.
He's incredible. He did it from his house. Travis Barker. It was rad. If you haven't
great.
seen it, just an hour of him covering Nirvana.
So yeah, if it's stuff like that, I guess
there was a lot. There was so many people watching that I finally just gave up because my thing just kept buffering.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll watch it after it's over, which I did, and I went back and watched it later. It was fantastic. But so look, if you're getting as many views as he is, I guess that's how the sponsors can make up their money, and maybe the artist. So. With Lollapalooza doing it, maybe that's their way of saying, hey, at least we can still make a little bit of money, and I know you guys are fucked this year. But Coachella's gone, and I imagine the rest of them too, Bonnaroo and all that other stuff will be canceled as well. Because there's no seating there.
Yeah.
There's no seating in these crowds, so just kind of show up, buy a ticket, and then congratulations, you're all in.
Yeah.
You're all into that.
I mean, I'm not fine with Coachella being canceled, but
I feel bad for the artists, to be honest with you. Most musicians, and I would say when I say most, I'm probably saying 95% of them. Yes, you have the Post Malones and the Taylor Swifts and the Beyoncés.
Sure.
There's a million other bands that need money to tour.
That and get discovered and get big and whatever from Coachella.
That's just and that's also their payday. Like Danny Worsnop, the lead singer of Asking Alexandria, was on, and he said, "Look, man, putting out a fucking streaming, album these days, he's like, might make about $8 off of that." And he goes, "You can go to Spotify and just see the hundreds of millions of listens on it." And he goes, "That check's going to be about $800. Our living comes off of touring and merchandise."
Yeah.
And he goes, "We're not going to have touring and merchandise for a year." And it sucks.
Yeah.
So I feel bad for the other artists, and you're right. It is a great place to get discovered. I mean, shit. How many people have come off of that? It used to be
more than now, but yeah.
Yeah.
Bands that have never, gotten to play in front of that many people, like,
Yeah.
Sucks.
It sucks. So, I feel bad.
Yeah.
I feel bad for them. I also feel bad for myself too. So
we knew that was coming.
Yeah. Do you know that was? You know it was coming.
Yeah. We knew it would always come back around.
You knew I was going out the front door and then coming around the back again.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. So I was in a little mourning over it today.
Were you? Because every year, still, you think you're gonna go, huh?
Yes.
I know.
It's like never going to end.
It's we've gone full circle with the episode where it's just it makes you feel good that it's there and happening.
Yeah.
And the idea that you this year may be able to go makes you feel good. Again, like my bed wine.
Yes.
I don't take one sip of that wine.
No, never.
That
Jessie
I
will
bring
pour
to bed.
a half glass of wine to relax, maybe watch a movie or something on Netflix. Never touch it once.
In our second life, when we have a vineyard and I have my own wine, it will be called
bed wine. Yeah. I watched a 30 for 30. Oh, you came home and you were like, dude, what are you so deeply into this doc for? And it turned out to be in a full hour, and I didn't know. And I was like, oh, shit. Usually they just do like 15-minute segments. Mm-hmm. It was about Drew Bledsoe, the quarterback before Tom Brady. Mm-hmm. But the whole thing was shot at this beautiful vineyard. And he took a hit so violent that he had died on the field for 15 seconds or something. And they kind of brought him back to life. He had to get this emergency surgery because blood was swelling up. Well, here's where I'm going with this.
Sure.
When Tom Brady took his job and became Tom Brady, same Tom Brady you know today, ended up winning a Super Bowl that year, 6th-round draft choice. Mm-hmm. Him and his wife were so pissed off about what had happened because he was the starter and he thought he should have got his job back once he came back from the injury. Because he came back 3 or 4 games later and it was like, all right, I'm healthy. I'm ready to go now. And they're like, we're going to go with this kid Tom Brady and see how this works out. Because he had won a few games in a row.
Yeah.
Him and his wife started drinking a lot of wine.
As you do,
right? He gets super into it and then buys a fucking vineyard. Now his vineyard grosses $4 to $5 million a year off of wine.
What's it called?
Saddleback. Saddleback wine. And I was going through the different prices, and there was bottles that went up to $300 a bottle. And the whole time he's walking through this amazing, beautiful vineyard, and he owns it. And there's only 4 people that run this vineyard and everything else, and they live on it. So they walked around the property. They live on the vineyard. Okay. And don't watch this doc because, that's it. Saddleback Cellars. Put it up on the screen there, Alec. Saddleback Cellars. Okay. When you watch this doc, Jessie, you will change from Yellowstone to vineyard. Yes. I need a vineyard. I definitely need a vineyard now.
Yeah, but where can I do that? I mean,
so good question.
California.
Good question, because that's what I was wondering. Because he's from, I knew his backstory already. He was from Walla Walla, Washington.
Okay.
And it is in Washington, so it is there, but it's picturesque.
Yeah.
And beautiful there.
Oh yeah.
I've never been to Washington, so I don't know what it was like. And watching this doc, I was
I guess.
Oh shit. And the guy that was interviewing him, it was Jeremy Schaap, ESPN. Pretty spot on impression of him.
Okay.
He made him drink with him the entire interview. So
Did he
as
get
it's going
slouched?
on, you can
slouched.
You can tell Starting
Oh,
to get-
yeah. That guy, you could tell, get sloushed after
He's a little guy.
one
Jeremy Schaap.
glass.
Yeah. You can pop on Jeremy Schaap.
Okay.
Up there. So.
Oh, but ever since A Walk in the Clouds, I want a vineyard.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, it's a lot of work.
But that's an old Italian one, so that's going to have to wait.
But homeboy, Drew Bledsoe, who owned the winery, so he's drinking the entire time as well.
Sure, but handled.
Doesn't make a dent.
Yeah, handled it.
On Drew Bledsoe
Sure.
at all. But Jeremy Schaap.
Shamp Chat.
ESPN.
Welcome to Shamp Chat.
That's a terrible word for it.
Terrible.
His father was a great reporter, by the way. But yeah, it'll make you want it where you're like, oh my God. And the clothes he was wearing looked like it was out of a magazine of like, hey, if you own a vineyard, you should definitely be wearing these clothes.
Was it linen?
Yeah, it was like some linen button down.
Sure.
And
comfortable yet professional.
jeans, boots, like so he could walk out through the vineyards, you know. But the boots were super cool.
A rubber boot.
sole, yeah, sole. But the rest of it was maybe Gore-Tex.
Oh, yeah.
It was gorgeous. Where you're just like, man, you have nailed life. And yeah.
Wow.
So now he runs the Saddleback, him and his wife.
Wow.
And look at them. Look at
how
how
happy they are. I wish.
Look at how happy they are.
I wish I could be as happy in my
Look at
relationship.
that. Look at
Yeah.
that. You see what I'm saying? A nice button down. Mm-hmm. Jeans, cozy, comfy. Look at that. It's
I
right,
don't like
right
that
at Magic
boot.
Hour.
I don't like a boot cut though.
You don't like a boot cut? I don't mind a boot cut. I wear boots, so I need a boot cut in my life.
I don't do boot cuts.
Can I
Never
tell you?
flattering.
Speaking of boot cut, can I tell you guilty pleasure that I almost indulged in late last night? Almost bought myself a pair of alligator boots.
That's not a guilty pleasure. That's like a hilarious life troll.
But they look cool. I'm not doing it to be like a hilarious
you
life
aren't?
troll. I genuinely think they look cool.
Oh, okay.
So one of those, you know, when you're scrolling through Instagram and it's like an ad that pops up and you're like, oh shit. There it is. Pop that up.
You'd have to do
pop
that.
up that gator boot that you just had, the 25%
You'd have to
off.
do that
Ooh.
sarcastically. That'd have to be your blessed necklace.
Nope. Look at that. You can see the eyes on the toe of the boot, dude, of the alligator. Man, those are nice. Almost. I was this close to pulling the trigger. Here's the thing. They were $99, and I was like, man, how well made are these for $99? Good boots are expensive.
Yeah.
And I was like, for $99.
Oh, $99. That's going to be a cheap
gator.
Yeah.
Cheap, very cheap gator.
Yep.
Probably a baby gator, you know?
And we don't want that.
No.
We want it to be a mature.
A mature, yeah.
A mature.
A mature gator.
A mature gator.
Over 85 pounds.
Yes.
A very mature gator that my boots are made out of. So
On the way out, had a good life.
Yeah. Lastly, last thing I want to talk about is I saw the trailer for the new Spike Lee movie. Da5 Bloods is what it's called. DA5 Bloods comes out Friday on Netflix. I'm not sure if this was going to theaters and then because
they
of
switched it.
the pandemic, what happened. But I saw the trailer today and it's fantastic. It's actually like a Vietnam movie about black soldiers over in Vietnam.
Okay.
I'm not a big fan of Spike Lee as a person.
Sure.
But as a director, this guy is lights out. And for whatever reason, he always manages to make movies that are timely for the exact situation that's going on without knowing it. And there's a reason he is stuck around for fucking 40 years in filmmaking at this point. He's always got a movie for the kid. And I don't know how he keeps doing it, where it's like... anyways, the trailer for this came out today.
His message has always kind of been the same. He just releases it at the right time. Then
sort of. I mean, he directed that Denzel movie about the heist. I think it was called. It was fucking awesome. It was him and Clive Owen.
Okay.
One of my favorite movies ever. So he does do different things. But this one in particular, I'm amped to watch that on Friday. That was one of the best trailers I've seen. Chadwick Boseman is in it, and a guy named Delroy Lindo is in it, an actor named Delroy Lindo, who I've worshipped for years. I've tried to hire this guy for years and years and years, and he's always working. He's one of those guys that is always working.
Yes.
I'm a gigantic fan of him.
Mm-hmm.
And I started trying to get him on a movie called Pool Boy Drowning Out Fury. And he was in. Like, his people were into. Look, Pool Boy will get canceled. Go ahead and buy that DVD now, because you can throw that to the list of movies that's going to get canceled for sure. But
I was hoping to not mention it, but go ahead.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. They're coming for everything, James. You right, it's not going to go over well. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, that's what I said.
We're all gone after this. But last show probably ever. But Delroy Lindo is a guy that just loves to work and is always a fantastic actor.
He's great.
But every time we've called, like, we weren't even able to get a script to him.
Sure.
The answer was this: sorry, he's working. Sorry, he's shooting. So it saves everybody time when a casting director calls the agent and says, "Hey, man, so-and-so is shooting a movie," and then you're like, "All right, cool, moving on." That guy has always been shooting for years and years and years. Is one of the very best. And so when I saw him in this trailer, I was like, "Oh man, I know the movie's going to be good." He's one of those actors where if they show up in it, you're like, "All right, I know this movie's going to be good."
It's legit. It's legit.
Yeah. He's been in everything. Yeah, Delroy Lindo has been in everything. So I'm amped. That movie comes out Friday, and then The King of Staten Island. I know we've talked shit about Pete Davidson on this show and how he's probably on the death list.
We're not necessarily talking shit. We're just saying he's a troubled guy.
Yeah. Anyways, we watched his movie on Hulu that came out maybe 4 months ago. And I thought he was really good in that. And I thought he was a really good actor, and I was surprised because he's not very good on SNL. But he's actually a good actor, and I think this movie with Judd Apatow that comes out on Friday, and again, politics aside, because I don't really give a shit about that when it comes to art. I'll watch anything. I'm able to separate the art from the person.
Yeah.
This movie looks great, and I'm definitely going to watch that this weekend as well.
Nice.
So
Chris was asking what's queuing this weekend. I've been doing chicken thighs.
Oh yeah.
Skin on. Get it crispy in the Traeger at $4.50. Anyone that has a Traeger that's connected to Wi-Fi, we just got an update that it goes to $500 now.
Yeah.
Watch out for that.
Ugh. Yikes.
Watch out for $500, okay?
Could be hot.
We've gotten a couple fires in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
In the Traeger.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
Like, I guess my neighbor who had like too much, didn't completely clean it out, right? And there's a little bit of oil or something in there. Oof. Went up. Yeah. So be careful of that 500 setting, guys, when you're smoking.
Looking forward to having some something on the grill this weekend, though. I know.
Yeah.
We got some ribs and some pork butt in the fridge and freezer. No, not for me.
I'll do ribs, maybe.
Okay.
The pork thing, bro, it is like...
You're so good at it, though.
Thank you. We're talking in the neighborhood about doing a pulled pork off, and I will do it then.
Okay. All right.
But it's a very involved situation.
You bet.
The ribs I can throw on slow smoke for 5 hours and at least have that time to chill and do whatever.
Sure. I'm into it.
Instead of like the taking off and doing that step, and then the taking off and doing that step, and then the...
Yeah. Well, kids, we had a fun show. Appreciate you stopping by. Don't forget to go to iTunes and rate the show a 5-star and give it a quick review. It really helps scoot it on up the charts. We greatly appreciate it. For Jessie Wiseman, a.k.a. The Jables, I'm Ross Patterson. This is The Revolution. Good afternoon, everyone.